Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Pastor G from Fellowship Missionary Church. I've been doing these videos, clips and context, basically to encourage students on college campuses, university campuses, who are wrestling with how to live out their faith in that particular culture. And today I have a guest with me, a young man who's dear to me. I've been knowing him for a few years now. I'll let him introduce himself. Go ahead, young man, introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Deven. I'm a junior right now at Anderson University.
All right. What's your major?
My major, music business, entertainment and music business.
Entertainment, music business. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Deven, tell me a little bit about your relationship with Jesus.
Well, I grew up in the church, so I've always seen Jesus. Maybe not known him, but I've always seen him. And I've had a really, really rock solid foundation from my mom. Like living our faith, like obvious favor has always been a part of my lifestyle. And I think that came from my mom at first, and now it's kind of like transitioning. So my relationship with Christ is, it's strong. It's definitely there. Like the faith is there. It's just, there's a yearning to get better. It's always there. So,
okay,
actively pursuing it. I think that's a good way to say it.
All right. Now, any question that I ask, you can say, "Hey, that's off limits," and I won't go there. But I want to ask you. You gave props to your mom.
Right.
Her faith impacted you. So
Definitely.
can you say something about growing up in a home with a single parent?
Yeah, definitely.
Many people have stereotypes about that. And so can you speak about what it was like to have a single mom with a strong faith?
Well, that strong faith that she had allowed my mom to do a lot of things that I feel like from the outside looking in on other single parent homes, she's been allowed to provide me with more and give me more because of the favor that she has with God. Like, she's just been able to bless us in unimaginable ways. She was a breadwinner. So she succeeded in her job and made sure we got the word. And as a result, I believe we were allowed to do just about anything that we asked. So sports, music, dreams, pursuing all of that, like that was never an obstacle. So I guess for me growing up, it was more like I lacked the things that she couldn't give as far as a father role in terms of teaching me the things that a man should know. You know, like just different things that a man goes through growing up, and then a lot of like housework, handiwork type things that I could never do.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm behind right now on things that I'm supposed to know, that my coach says I'm supposed to know as a man because I didn't have that father figure. But my mom was always well connected to other people who were kind of able to give us like some sort of substitute at times. But I think the only thing I lacked really was the having that father figure to be like, okay, I know what you're going through, and this is what to do when faced with that situation. But I've been blessed to have a lot of people like you, a lot of other people that I've been openly able to go to and be like, hey, I'm dealing with this as far as like a spiritual type thing, this type of struggle. So I've kind of been able to get through really well. I think I'm a really good case as far as having a single mom.
Okay, that's what's up. All right. So being a believer, being a disciple, how does your faith impact your studies? So you said you were a music business major or entertainment major.
Yeah.
How does your faith, because this is a big conversation right here, how does your faith impact your studies?
The thing about being an entertainment and music business major who wants to rap.
Oh, you want to rap?
Yeah, I want to rap.
For Jesus?
So studies, it's life, you know what I mean? So it's almost like, how does it impact my studies? Like anything, it impacts my studies the same way it impacts my life. There's a lot of challenges that I have to face and a lot of hard decisions that I have to make for myself. Like, where am I going to stand? What am I going to say? And how will I present myself? And what goal am I going for? Am I trying to be accepted? Or am I trying to stand out? Am I trying to deliver a message? Or am I just trying to provide an example? Like, there's a lot of hard stuff that goes in with that. And then if you you want to focus more on studying, I could give you like trying to separate time out of my everyday study days, out of my pursuit of knowledge in this industry, to go and pursue knowledge about God. Like, that's something I'm still trying to get myself to do. Like, I have to make myself do that, and a lot of times I fail because I'm in here, I'm trying to learn this, I'm trying to make this contact, I'm trying to learn this type of thing for this paper, and translate all this knowledge to my music right now so I can get to where I want to be because I'm trying to blow up, I'm trying to be famous. Like, it's a lot of competing thoughts that come through from studying entertainment and music business, and it's really hard for me to take time out to do the things that I need to be doing in order to stay strong as a Christian, if that makes sense.
Okay. Well, let's talk about in terms about the way that you study. Do you look at your major as being a way to connect with God as well? Like, do you think God is concerned with how you study and you being faithful to your studies?
I think, unfortunately, I have to say no to that question.
Really?
It can be a distraction, a huge distraction. I'll be honest about that. And I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this in a way that I'm not going to take you around a huge circle. But it's almost like I'm so devoted to learning the music business for what it is and not how I can insert God in there. Now, rap is a little different. Like, my personal rap stuff and my stories and the way I write, I do try and find ways to insert God in there. But, like, in terms of studying, I'm not like, okay, God, I need you to help me with this test, and I need to see how I can apply my Christian life to the entertainment industry this way. I guess the closest I've ever come to that would be positivity. I have a lot of dreams to insert positivity into the industry and in the mainstream world so that people see that it's okay to live like a Christian, like be an example. But, like, that's about as active as I get, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let me ask it a little bit different way. Do you think that and I'm not putting the limits in saying Christian music, but do you think that music is important to God?
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's one of the biggest ways God touches people. Now, I can't say I've seen any personal example of someone listening to this song and converting because of this song. Yeah. But I do know that, at least for people like me, thinking type of people, a controversial song or a song that brings up a topic that you like, that hits home, you're going to think about it well after the song is over. And if that song gets stuck in your head, that's even better because you start singing that song when you're going through a certain situation. And that gets more thoughts thinking. And maybe those thoughts that are spurred might kind of push you to go seek some guidance or get closer to God because of a series of thoughts that happened because of that song. So I think music is integral. I mean, let's look at Lucifer, right? You know, they say he was like the angel of music, you know?
Okay.
So, I feel like music is one of God's strongest tools that he uses in the world. And unfortunately, that's why I think we might have even had a conversation about it, G. I think that's why Satan has such a big grip on that music industry because he knows how powerful it is. Okay. So, hands down, yeah, music is very important.
So they're not so much about talking about your content, even though I think it includes your content. Mm-hmm. But when you approach your studies, it's important because as a disciple, you believe that being good at what you do is a part of being faithful to God.
Yeah, I can say that.
Okay. Okay. What about in terms of being a disciple and just the activities that are there on campus? What's that like?
I have a leg up, but it's not as big of a leg up as people would say because I go to a Christian university.
This interview is over right now. This is a Christian university. This is done. No, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. I go to a Christian university, so I can't help you.
No.
But that's one of the biggest misconceptions, man, because I know so many people here that aren't Christian or say they're Christian and don't live like it at all. And some of those people are friends of mine. Others aren't so much, but the fact that I go to a Christian university gives me a leg up because there's an environment right next to me to go to when I need to get my worship on, when I need to find somebody to talk to, like, hey man, I'm struggling and I notice that I'm struggling, I can go next door and easily find somebody who's in their word regularly and at a stronger level than me that I can kind of look up to and link arms with. So everyday activities, I have a leg up, but because I'm an entertainment and music business major and I'm a rapper, the majority of my friend group are people who are trying to do the same thing as me, which is make these contacts, go do music, write music, perform, and just push our artistry or push our production skills. You know, like we're all like, get better, get better, get better. That consumes so much of our thoughts. Like we're always sitting at the lunch table talking about what our next opportunity is going to be or how we're going to link up and make this next song happen, to the point where God doesn't really enter our conversation. I could probably count the number of God-centered conversations I've had with my immediate friend group on one hand. It wasn't like that last year. But now that I'm in an apartment where I have like 3 other roommates and it's kind of more like we have neighbors, but it's more enclosed. It's not like dorm life so much. My guys there, we don't really talk about God a whole lot, except for on Sunday when we go to church, like on the car ride back. That needs to change. I need that to change, like they said.
Okay, so I mean, it's good that you recognize that. You recognize where your challenges are, because it would be one thing if you said to me, "Man, I don't have any."
Right.
And
I know my life with God is not gravy right now. That's
okay. So do you know any immediate things that you can do right now? Like you mentioned that you have some believers who are not far, who you can go to and be challenged by. What steps are you going to take in terms of living out your faith and being faithful, in terms of seeking God, practicing some of the disciplines? It's those things are important. What are some things that you think that you could do?
Well, the first thing I'm going to have to do is, I feel like obviously out of my 4 roommates, I need to be a leader and kind of pointing out like, hey guys, let's go together. That type of thing, because I'm spurred on by fellowship and community so much. If there are guys around me that are at least tucked somewhere in their mind, they're thinking, okay, how can I get better and closer to God? I'll connect with that, and I want to be transparent with that person, because I'm always looking for someone to be transparent with. I don't play games, but I like the authenticity and the growth that comes from transparency. So if I can get my roommates to kind of walk on this journey with me, then I know instead of making small baby steps every other week or so, like things will go exponentially. I need to reconnect with some Christian faith mentors in my life, and I've recognized that. I've tried, and then we'll lose contact and we'll try again. But if I stay connected to people who are concerned, and I guess I don't want to be lazy about it either. I don't want to depend on other people.
Yeah.
But I know if I stay connected to people who are at least somewhat concerned about my Christian walk, it'll put some of those dormant thoughts that are in the back of my mind that I don't really pay attention to, like I need to get in my word, I need to read, I need to do this Charles Stanley, I need to do this for my Christian life. I'll think about those more often with those people who are actively talking to me about, hey, what did you read this week? Or how are you doing, Deven? Be honest with me. How are you really doing? Not, surface level type stuff, because if we have something established already, I'm not going to give them love.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm struggling with this week, and I don't know why, but I am. Yeah. And I have those moments, man. I'm seeking that. I want that. And I'm kind of disappointed. I have it scheduled in my thing, Bible time, this, that, and the other, but I haven't fulfilled the goals that I have for myself yet.
Okay. So this is where I'll kind of wrap it up a little bit. But what would you say to people who are people like myself, who are trying to reach out to college students, young adults, to make an impact in their discipleship? What would you say to us? What can we do? Yeah, what could we do to encourage you guys?
keep doing this, do more of this type of stuff. Like the fact that you called me out to, even if I was doing the things that I'm doing already, or even if you weren't trying to like talk to me to figure out things like this, like the fact that you called me made me think and reflect on what I have been doing as a Christian and what I can do better. Like I had already been thinking about this type of thing, but say I had, you know, these type of questions will spur that, and maybe that'll be enough to get a chain of thought going that'll eventually lead back to Christ. So definitely keep reaching out to talk to people and just engage like regular human activity. Like, you know, I like to talk to people, you know. So keep doing that. Let me see anything else. I think actively, well, it depends. I might be going off track. Are you talking about people who are looking to just engage with college students on a Christian level in any type of arena, or like in a specific way?
Yeah, basically, you know, just take for instance our church fellowship.
Right.
If people said, "Man, what would be a way that I can encourage Deven?" I've been thinking about Deven. I really want to encourage him. What would be some of the things that to do?
Speaking of encouraging, get. I know it's so hard to do. It really is, because people have their own lives and schedules. But when I see that there are people like me who are struggling in the same ways I am, or dealing with the same type of stuff that I am, it may not, like for me, it's not gonna like be the sole factor that makes me do something or not, but it definitely helps to see that there's other people in the same arena, like, yo, like me and you, we identify with the same struggle. Maybe I can text you, you can text me, we can get some accountability going. So definitely gathering like-minded people together in a room, and especially like not in a way that makes people feel guilty. So like I feel like you don't want to put that sanctified Christian who struggles every now and then in the same room every single time with the person who has a ton of questions, but their life ain't together, but they got a ton of questions. Because they start, you know, it's a confidence issue. Like, oh, my life is so messed up, I can't go here because I'm gonna feel uncomfortable, and I don't want to feel uncomfortable. If you get people that are close to the same level together, then they identify with the same struggle, and then they have one mentor to look up to. So stuff like that. I know when I was in youth group with you guys, that was one of the things that helped me. Like, not only was God keeping me from certain party scenes and making sure things didn't happen, like he was setting me apart, but being a part of the youth group growing up through high school and middle school definitely helped me realize when I was getting too far off track, like, yo, what am I doing? Deven, you need to get back and connect with the circle of people, which I did a few times, so it helped. And just being on the same level as some other person, it was just like, I think I don't even realize the impact that had on me. Stuff like that, man. Getting like-minded people together and keep reaching out like you have.
Yeah. Well, we're working on it. And I think that is part of something that we're trying to do and encourage others to do, because we walk with you in middle school, we walk with you in high school.
Right.
And then you get to the most important phase of life, and we're like, see you later, peace.
Good luck.
And we want to remain connected. Well, thank you so much, man, for taking some time to let me interview you. And if any of the people want to comment, you got anything you want to say, or shout out some words of encouragement to Deven, you can make a post in the comment section, and we'll be posting another one next week. God bless. Peace.